What's going on, brothers and sisters? Chris here from Namaste Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at Humble Indie Bundle 8. Stay tuned to the end for something special. Just a quick rundown for those of you who are wondering what the hell a Humble Indie Bundle is. It's a collection of indie games released on a pay-what-you-want basis, and the money is divided between the developers and charities involved, with you choosing exactly how it's all divvied up. This one in particular nets you 5 games, with Steam keys available for all purchases over $1 US, and if you beat the average, which is around $5.70 at this point in time, you'll unlock 2 more games. It's a great opportunity to get some great games for a price that fits your budget, and do your part to help out a couple of awesome charity groups. And if that's not enough, you get soundtracks for most of the games too. Enough evangelizing, let's get to the games. The first game in the bundle is a twisted sandbox experience called Little Inferno. In this game, you pretty much just find creative ways to set things on fire. Most of the things you'll set on fire are things that you probably shouldn't set on fire. I'm honestly not sure whether to call it a game or a toy, but whatever it is, it's fun. It's not the most compelling reason to pick up the bundle, but it definitely does make a nice addition to the rest of the lineup. Next up, we've got Awesomenauts. This game is a Dota-inspired multiplayer 2D platformer. If you've played any sort of MOBA games, the premise should be pretty clear. Destroy their towers, protect yours, kill other players, and get verbally abused by your team for every mistake you make. Nah, those guys are around just like in every MOBA, but because Awesomenauts is a much more casual experience, there's decidedly less of them. It controls well, the art style is cool, and if you can get a couple of friends together, it's good fun. Bonus, if you're a fan of Total Biscuit, he actually did the voiceover for one of the playable characters. Really good game, one of the 2 standouts of the default bundle in my opinion. Moving on, we've got Capsized, a Metroidvania-style game that gets points for style even if it falls a little short on substance in my eyes. This one is definitely an interesting experience, but for me personally, the control scheme kinda kills it. It may be because I'm playing through Dust as well right now, video on that later by the way, but I just don't feel like mouse and keyboard handles the movement right, and aiming with a controller sucks. I feel like I'd need 3 hands to play this game correctly. Like I said, maybe I'm just spoiled from Dust, but this one is not exactly the star of the show in my opinion. Cool art style and music though. In the position of unlikely standout, we have Thomas Was Alone. This game messes with me. I'm a pretty visually oriented guy. I like stylized art, I like high fidelity graphics. This game is just 2D blocks. It barely has color. It could probably run on a bloody Amiga. So why don't I mind? Thomas Was Alone is one of those games that helps people like me to remember that no matter what a game looks like, good gameplay trumps everything. If you watched my Runner 2 review, you know that I tend to judge games in comparison with the rest of their genre. Thomas Was Alone is another one of those best-in-class kind of games. It's hard to understand until you play it, but if you like puzzle platformers at all, this is definitely up there with the best of the genre, and the narration and soundtrack really take it over the top. Finally, we have Dear Esther. More of a slightly interactive story than an actual game, Dear Esther caused a lot of controversy when it was released. It's almost the complete opposite of Thomas Was Alone in that it's entirely driven by the visual and auditory presentation, and the gameplay has little to do with the overall experience. Whether or not you want to call it a game, Dear Esther is definitely a unique experience, and while I most likely wouldn't have ever bought it on its own, I'm glad to have it as part of this bundle. Now, if you beat the average price, you also get a couple of extras. You get Proteus, which is what you're looking at right now. It's sort of like a free-roaming, peaceful adventure through an NES game, well on some form of mild psychedelic. It's a genuinely pleasant experience, and what it lacks in gameplay, it more than makes up for in charm. Of course, most of you will probably be more interested in Hotline Miami, a critically acclaimed, uber-violent, and incredibly challenging top-down action game that plays like the original Grand Theft Auto on a hefty cocktail of PCP and methamphetamine. So why am I not showing footage of it? Well, see, here's the thing. I'm kinda giving my copy away. To be eligible to win it, all you have to do is leave a comment. That's it. No hoop jumping this time around, no Twitter, nothing like that. There's only one entry per person, regardless of the number of comments you leave, so don't be afraid of getting disqualified or anything just because you want to chime in on the discussion more than once. The winner will be announced next week in the aforementioned video on Dust, which, just my sort of off-the-record opinion, is probably the best PC port I've ever played, and is a game that does everything so well that I'm struggling to find critical things to say about it. More on that next week. Humble Indie Bundle 8 is available at humblebundle.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. It is a limited time offer, so jump on it before it closes. That's all for this one, folks. Click like if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Much love to you, beautiful humans. Don't forget to comment for a chance to win a copy of Hotline Miami, and of course, stay black.